And probe into the death of the slain lawyer continued, with the police interrogating 2 suspects in connection.
Investigations into the murder of city lawyer Matthew Kyalo Mbobu.
A total of 8 suspects now in custody and under investigation in connection to the gruesome murder of lawyer Matthew Kyalo Mbobu.
Presented by Professor Bobu Kyalo, who is a renowned lawyer. And when he went to court, he categorically stated, we are here, we want that judgment produced before court.
On Tuesday morning, Captain Kung'u Muigai, cousin to former President Uhuru Kenyatta, made explosive claims that have shaken Kenya's corridors of justice. He accused 17 judges of corruption in his long-running case against Kenya Commercial Bank, alleging that millions of dollars exchanged hands to twist the outcome. That same afternoon, his lawyer, Matthew Kyalo Mbobu, was in court, pushing the matter forward. Hours later, Bobu lay dead, assassinated in Karen by a motorcycle hit squad. The judiciary issued a statement dismissing Kung'u's claims as malicious and unfounded. The timeline was unnerving. Accusations in the morning, a lawyer gunned down at night, a rebuttal by sunrise, and so the nation is left asking, who ordered Bobu's killing? Who stood to gain from his silence? And if the judiciary is the final safeguard of justice, what happens when it is the one under suspicion? Kung insists that his case against KCB has been poisoned by corruption for decades. He specifically accused a group of judges of relying on a judgment that does not exist. According to him, these judges were bribed with $2.5 million, money funneled through a prominent Nairobi lawyer. He went further to say that witnesses are ready to testify behind closed doors to confirm the claims. By nightfall, the lawyer who had carried this case for years was dead.
Wenye walikuwa kwa gari wanasema walikuwa watu wawili, wakati alishoot alikimbia tu na kukalia yenye ilikuwa tayari pale juu.
The judiciary, through spokesperson Paul Ndemo, quickly hit back. He said losing a case is not the same as proving bribery, and added that some of the judges Kung named had either retired or passed away long ago. The official response was sharp. The accusations were baseless, malicious, and intended to tarnish the reputation of the institution. But the sequence of events, allegation, assassination, and rebuttal has left many Kenyans doubtful. At the center of this storm is the Muiri Coffee Estate in Kiambu County. The 443-acre farm was valued at about 3 billion shillings, but sold for just 70 million shillings in 2007. The roots of the matter stretch back to 1989. That year, KCB approved a 23 million shilling loan for Benja Amalgamated Limited, a company associated with Kung'u. Kung'u himself put in 13 million shillings of his own money, preparing land and planting 25 acres of flowers for export. But only 9 million shillings of the loan was ever released. He believes this was political punishment for his role in opposing the one-party system under the Kenya African National Union. As interest and penalties accumulated, the debt shot past 100 million shillings. In 2007, KCB moved to recover its money by selling Muiri Coffee Estate. Kung insists this was fraudulent. The securities pledged were Nyandarua properties, not Murie Coffee. To him, the estate was grabbed, and his political career at the time made him a convenient target. In 1992, Kung took the matter to court, but the case file soon disappeared. When a new file was reconstructed, KCB claimed that a consent judgment existed, showing Kung had admitted liability. Kung has always denied this. Justice Erastus Jathinji also confirmed that no such judgment was ever on record. Yet the Court of Appeal Justices Quach, Tanoy, and Bazar later ruled that such a judgment did exist, even though it was never produced. For Kung, this was the smoking gun of judicial corruption. He insists bribes were paid to deliver that outcome. Former Law Society of Kenya President Nelson Havi has entered the debate, urging the judiciary to end speculation by producing 2 documents: the consent order allegedly signed on May 4, 1992, and the judgment that supposedly followed.
Which, if the Judiciary and Judicial Service Commission wanted to put this matter to rest, they would have responded with documented evidence. Number one,
these documents have never been seen, Javi said. Yet they are the backbone of rulings that have dismissed Kung'u's cases as res judicata. If they do not exist, then Kenyans must accept that justice has been hijacked. Javi warned that the Judicial Service Commission risks losing all credibility if it continues to stonewall. Kenya Commercial Bank has repeatedly defended its position. The bank maintains that the 1992 consent was valid and gave it the right to sell the property. The Court of Appeal upheld that ruling in 1998. Since then, more than 14 separate suits filed by Kung'u or his companies have been dismissed, but Bobu until his death pressed on. He cited rulings such as that of Justice Joyce Kaminwa, who accused the bank of manufacturing account statements. He also highlighted testimony from a KCB manager in 2009, who admitted he could not state the actual amount owed. While fighting in court, Bobu was drowning in personal debts. A Shylock loan of 10 million shillings had mushroomed into 72 million after penalties. In 2023, Korat Africa, a church-based group, sued him for withholding 97 million shillings from a land sale worth 250 million. Court ordered him to refund the money. A Somali financier claimed he owed 52 million shillings from a ranch deal. Another client said he withheld 40 million shillings from arbitration funds. By the time of his death, Bobu was a lawyer under siege, battling both in court and in his private finances. This raises an uncomfortable question. Was his death tied to judicial corruption or to his spiraling debts and powerful creditors? The controversy comes at a time when the judiciary is already under scrutiny. President William Ruto has repeatedly accused it of being captured by cartels and obstructing his reforms. This is not the first time Kenya's judiciary has been mired in scandal. In the 1990s, Justice Samuel Wakiaga accused senior judges of accepting bribes in major cases. In 2003, the radical surgery purge removed dozens of judges and magistrates accused of corruption. More recently, Supreme Court rulings have triggered accusations of bias and influence from both political and corporate interests. For many Kenyans, the pattern is familiar. Allegations surface, denials follow, and accountability rarely comes. On social media, Kenyans have reacted with outrage and suspicion. Many see Mbobu's assassination as an attempt to silence the truth. Others argue that his financial troubles made him a target for those he owed. Civil society groups have demanded an independent inquiry, warning that public faith in the judiciary is collapsing. Legal experts say, unless the judiciary provides answers, every future ruling will be viewed with suspicion. The murder of Bobu is not an isolated tragedy. Kenya has a long history of high-profile assassinations tied to politics, money, and power struggles. From Robert Auko in 1990 to Jacob Juma in 2016, these cases often remain unresolved. Now, with 17 judges named, a lawyer dead, and billions of shillings at stake, the questions are louder than ever.